So yesterday we have studied about multiplication of integers. Now we are going to observe about division of integers. So when here I am showing only how to be divided when like integers are there, unlike integers are there, how we can perform the division operation. I am going to show now. So just listen. Division of integers. Our main chapter was integers. So in these integers, we have already studied about how we are performing basic operations like addition, subtraction, and multiplication. And now we are going to perform division on integers. And next, after this topic, we are going to learn about properties, different properties. So let us finish first the division. Division of integers. So how we need to divide the integers? If I have given minus 24 divided by 3, if I have given like this one division statement, for this I want to get the answer. So first of all, divide the number as usual, what you know, like normal division only. So 24 by 3, that is nothing but 3 ones are 3 8s. Minus 24 by 3, 3 ones are 3 8s. That is equal to 8. But here minus is this. That's why we will get minus. If you are getting one is negative integer, one is positive integer. In that case, you will get the negative integer as the result. If we are getting both are negative integers, so suppose minus 24 divided by minus 3, both are negative. In this case, minus 3. Minus minus will get cancelled, 3 ones are 3 8s are, so which is equal to plus 8. So just observe when you are dividing unlike integers, the result is negative. When you are dividing the like integers, the result is positive. Only this thing we need to remember, that's all. So division is normal division only. And for suppose you are getting a negative value in the denominator, in the divisor. So then in that case, 24 by minus 3, 3 ones are 3 8s are. Even it is in the denominator, that will consider as a negative value completely, minus 8. And now coming to the fourth one, if both are positive. So positive is very simple, 24 by 3 which is equal to 8. So in this way, we have to perform the division operations. Whenever you are getting one is positive, one is negative, in that case only we will get the negative quotient. In other things, that is if both are positive, both are negative, in that case we will get the positive quotient. Now coming to the one of the topic. See, if I give one multiplication statement. So suppose I am taking both the integers positive. One of the multiplication statement I am taking, multiplication statement. And for this, what will be the division statement we will get, we will see. So suppose I have the multiplication factor 2 into 4 is equal to 8. 2 and 4 both are positive integers. So 2 4s are 8. Now for this multiplication statement, we can write a two division statement. Division statement for the above statement. First statement was, whatever the result we got in the multiplication statement, take that product first, 8, and take one of the multipliers divided by 2. First number I am taking 8 divided by 4 is 8. That's all. These numbers only repeating. For this statement, we are getting one of the division statement like this. And now coming to the next one, take the result first, divide with So already 2 we have used. Now go through with 4. So 4 ones are 4 twos are. Just observe for only these numbers 2, 4, 8. We are getting the 2 division statements in this. So remember, while we are writing the division facts, you need to remember first we need to write the result. That is product we need to mention. Then one of the number you need to divide with one of the number, and whatever number is the remaining number, that one you will get as the result. So remember these things. Now, when both positive, we are getting positive quotients only. If one is positive, one is negative. Otherwise, both are negative. So second condition, if both are negative, minus 2 into minus 5. 5 twos are 10, minus into minus will become plus. So in this case, how we will get the division statement? So every single multiple statement, multiplication statement, we will get 2 division statements. First one, so as I told you, first write the quotient 10, and instead of multiplication, we are performing division because we are writing division statement. 10 divided by one of the divisor minus 2. So 2 5s are 10, and here plus this is minus. Just now I told you whenever you are dividing, unlike integers, you will get the negative quotient. And next 10 divided by, so what is the next number? Minus 5. Again we are getting minus 2. So just these numbers only we will repeatedly we will get. So for one multiplication factor, multiplication statement, we will get the 2 division statements. So if you are getting both are positive numbers, then the result is, if you are writing quotients, if you are writing division statements also, we will get the quotient as positive whenever positive is it. If both are negative, in that case we will get in this way. And if one is positive, one is negative. Like this I got. So 2 5s are 10, and minus into plus is minus. So now write the division statement. As usual, first result minus 10 divided by one of the division factor minus 2. So when you are dividing two like integers, result will be plus 2 5s are 10. That's why we got plus. And next, second one, minus 10 divided by, so 2 minus 2 finished, then remaining number was plus 5. So one is positive, one is negative. So minus we will get 5 ones are 5 twos are, minus 2 will be the result. So these are the things to remember while we are performing division of integers. Then coming to the properties of integers. Properties of integers. For 3, 7. 3 and 7 both are whole numbers. Then what will be the result? 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. So 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. 10 also is a whole number. So closure property states that if you are adding two whole numbers, the result also is a whole number. A, B, C, all are belongs to whole numbers, set of whole numbers. So this is the statement for closure property while we are considering the whole numbers. So we have already know that all the whole numbers are integers also. 3, 7 are integers and 10 also an integer. That's why closure property is possible for positive integers. What about the negative integers? We will check. -3 plus of -2. Both are negative integers. So -3, -2, -5. Here -3, -2, -5 all are belongs to integers. So that's why closure property is applicable for integers under addition. So here we are performing for we are checking all these properties are suitable under addition, subtraction, multiplication or division or not. We are going to check. So now first of all I am checking the properties of integers under addition. For addition I am checking. So first property was closure property. Closure property. Closure property statement, just now I told you. By the words I will write first. If we are adding, because addition I took. So if we are adding any two integers, either positive or negative or positive and negative, any two integers, then the result also is an integer. Otherwise sum you can write. Result also is an integer. So if we are adding any two integers, then the result also is an integer. Just we are checking its result. First, in statement wise I am going to check if A, B, C are belongs to integers, then A plus B is equal to C. So now we will take one example. So for suppose A value I am taking as -2 and B value I am taking as +5. So add these two integers. One is negative, one is positive. That is nothing but subtraction. So 5 minus 2 is 3 and 5 is having +5. So +3. Here -2, 5, 3 all are belongs to integers. So statement whatever they are given, that is satisfied. That means closure property is suitable for integers under addition. So this is the state. And coming to the next property. So once again I am explaining. Just it is very clear. You have applied for whole numbers also, so there is no confusion to understand this concept. Whenever you are adding any two integers, result also is an integer. That is the statement. That's all. So if you want to write in statement form, in words you can use this. If you want to represent in the statement form, usually we will represent in the symbolic form. So use this one. And these are the examples. Now coming to the next topic, next property, commutative property. So commutative property of integers under addition. Commutative. So before starting this, I'll give some examples for you. See, if I'm adding 5 plus 3. First case, I am taking two positive integers. 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. And now I am changing the order. 3 plus 5. So first number I have written in second place and second number I am writing in the first place. That is 3 plus 5. Here and this one is here. I am changing the order. 3 plus 5 also is equal to 8. And just observe all these are integers. So by changing the order of two integers, if you are adding those two integers by changing their order, the result is not changed. So this is the statement for commutative property. If you are adding any two integers by changing their order, the result will not change. So that is the thing. And check with the another example. Take one is positive and one is negative. Whether it is possible or not, we will see. -3 plus of plus 6. So what is the result? One is minus, one is plus. So subtraction. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3 and 6 is having plus sign, so plus 3. And now again change the order. Plus 6 plus of minus 3, which is equal to 1 is plus, 1 is minus. So subtraction. 6 minus 3 is equal to 3 and 6 is having plus sign, so plus 3. So even you are changing the order of one is positive number and one is negative number, then also we are getting the same result. So this is okay. Now coming to take both are negative integers. In that case, how we will get the result? -5 plus of -6. So both are negative, we have to go for addition operation. 5 plus 6 is equal to 11. Because both are minus, we have to keep minus. Change the order. -6 plus of -5. So 6 plus 5 is equal to 11 and minus is there to -11. So just observe, commutative property is applicable for integers under addition. So now we will write the statement for commutative property of integers. So if they are adding any two integers by changing their order, by changing their order, the result will remain the same. So there is no change in the result, that's all. So we will write by using the symbol form. If A comma B belongs to I or Z, we can represent in two letters with the two letters. A comma B belongs to I, then A plus B is equal to B plus A. This is the statement for commutative property. A plus B is equal to B plus A. By changing the order of two integers, result will not affect. 5 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 5. That's all. And now coming to the example. If I have taken -40 plus of plus 10 is equal to, so minus plus subtraction. 40 minus 10 is equal to 30 and 40 is having negative sign, so -30. And now change the order. Plus 10 plus of -40, which is equal to plus and minus. That is unlike integers. So go for subtraction. 40 minus 10 is 30 and 40 is having minus 10, so -30. That's from therefore -40 plus 10 will be equal to plus 10 plus of -40. That's all. So A value is -40, B value is 10. A plus B. This is LHS side and this is RHS side. B plus A. So LHS is equal to RHS. That's why this property is applicable for addition of integers. So now coming to the another property, third property. So that is associative property. Associative property under addition. So what is the associative property statement? We will see first. With the example, I will explain you, then you will understand very simple way. See, for suppose I have taken 3 integers. So that is my wish. I am taking -2 plus plus 7. Like this I have taken. Now I am checking what is the result of this. So according to the associative property, in the commutative property we have used only 2 numbers. In case of associative property, we are going to use 3 numbers. So here we are checking the result by changing the order of 3 numbers. In that commutative property, we have used only 2 numbers. And here we are using 3 numbers. And remember here, because of 3 numbers, we are using the brackets. This brackets, what is the use of brackets, you know already. So if we are performing any operation, first preference we have to give for the brackets. Means whatever is there in the brackets, that one we need to simplify first. So in this case, first we need to simplify this. So according to the associative property, if we are changing the order, that means here I'm performing this operation first, and plus 7. This must be equal. So whether it is correct or not, we will check. So associative property states that if we are adding any 3 integers by changing their order, the result will not change. So whether it is possible or not, we will see. First take the LHS. Whenever you are going to check, take the LHS and verify it with the RHS. So now, first number was 5. You can write it directly 5 because it is a positive number. And -2 plus 7. So instead of plus 7, we can write 7 also. Now coming to the first question. 5 plus. So because we are getting the bracket for this one, so first we need to perform this operation. Minus value plus value, -2 and plus 7. So one is negative, one is positive. What we have to do? Subtraction. 7 minus 2 is equal to 5, and 7 is having plus symbol. That's why we will get plus 5. Plus 5 in the sense we no need to indicate here. That's all. 5 plus 5 is equal to 10. So this is the simplification at LHS. Now what we will get for RHS? Just check. RHS is equal to 5 plus of -2 plus of plus 7. So here we need to perform this operation first because bracket we are including for this side. So if whenever brackets are shown in any mathematical operations, that brackets, whatever is there in the brackets, we need to finish first. So here between these 2 integers, again addition only we have. One is positive, one is negative. So subtraction. 5 minus 2 is equal to 3, and 5 is having plus 10, so we will get plus 3. Plus of 7. So because here plus only is directly written as 7. So 3 plus 7 is equal to 10. Just observe, even you are changing the order of integers, then also we are getting the same result. And because here we are using the brackets for grouping the numbers, so it is called grouping property also. So remember, associative property is also same as commutative property. Only the difference is commutative property is applicable for 2 numbers, whereas associative property is applicable for 3 numbers. So now the statement was, if we are adding any 3 numbers by changing their order, the result will remain the same, otherwise the result will not change. So now take one, so write in the statement. So if Here we are talking about the three integers. So if A, B and C belongs to Z or I, then A plus B plus C is equal to A plus B plus C. So just observe, if here all are addition only we are taking. So whenever three numbers are there, so if all are having plus only, in that case we need to use associative property. Now coming to the example. So just now how I told you like that only. 5 plus 7 plus of minus 3 is equal to 5 plus 7 plus of minus 3. So now check whether it is correct or not. What will be the result? We will see. 5 plus 7 plus of minus 3 is 7 plus of minus 3 is the LHS, is equal to 5 plus 7 and plus 7 and minus 3. So unlike integers, we need to go for subtraction. 7 minus 3 is equal to 4 plus 4. That's why I am not writing the bracket. So 5 plus 4 is equal to 9. Then coming to RHS, 5 plus 7 plus of minus 3, which is equal to 5 plus 7 is equal to 12. 12 plus of minus 3. So one is positive, one is negative. 12 minus 3 is equal to 9. So therefore LHS is equal to RHS, which is equal to 9. So that is a verification. This one no need to do. If in the question they are asking, we need to check whether it is associative property is possible or not. We need to check. So this is the different types of properties according to addition. First property was closure property. Second property is commutative property. Third property was associative property. And next one more property is additive identity. So I'll give you examples. Now you understand very well. Additive identity. So what is the additive identity element of whole numbers? 0 only. So how I'll explain? Just observe. First I am checking for whole numbers. 3 plus dash is equal to 3. By adding this number, we will get the same number. And so suppose 4, by adding this number, I will get as 4 only the result. And for 5, by adding this number, I will get 5 only as the result. See, by adding 0 to any number, C plus 0. 0 is nothing but we are not adding anything. Means that answer will not change. Means whatever I have first, that much only I must get as the result. So first I have 3. I want to get this one only as the result. 3 only as the result. So that's why I'm using the 0. So this 0, by adding 0 only, we will get the same number as the result. So it is same for every number. So by adding 0, we are getting same number as the result. That's why it is called additive identity. Adding. That's why additive. Identity in the sense, we must get same number as the result. So by adding 0 only, we are getting that number, same number. So 0 is the additive identity element of whole numbers. Here I am used to whole numbers. Even we can consider these numbers for integers also, but positive integers. Now we will check for negative integers. What we will do? Minus 3 plus of 0 will be equal to minus 3 only. We are nothing adding, so we will get same number as the result. That's why. So additive identity element of integers are also 0. So 0 is the additive identity element of integers. whole numbers, but it is not there in the natural numbers, because natural numbers start with 1, 2, 3 and so on. So there is no 0 at all. That's why natural numbers does not having the additive identity. So in case of natural numbers, we are getting the numbers from 1, 2, 3 and so on. That means we need to select the numbers from 1 onwards. If 0 is there, then only we will get the additive identity. But 0 not there. That's why natural numbers does not consist of additive identity. Coming to the whole numbers, we are getting 0 in those numbers. So 0 is there. So by adding 0 to any number, we are getting the same number as the result. That's why 0 is the additive identity of whole numbers. Coming to integers, in case of integers also, we are getting the 0 value. That means if you are adding 0 to any number, we are getting same number as the result. That's why the additive identity element of whole integers is 0. So the statement was given by a plus 0 or 0 plus a is equal to a for all a belongs to z. For all means for every, this symbol is read as for all, means every value of a that is belongs to z, means that value belongs to integers, that a plus 0, 0 plus a is equal to a. That's why 0 is called additive identity of identity element of integers. So 0 is called the additive identity element of integers. Otherwise, identity element with respect to addition we will call. So these are the points to remember. What are the properties of integers? So under addition, and one more we have, that is additive inverse. Additive inverse. So just now I have told you, by adding which number we are getting same number as the result. That is called additive identity. Now by adding which number we are getting, for suppose plus 3, by adding which number I will get the result as 0. By adding means, so plus 3, I want to get 0 as a result. For suppose I have 3 chocolates, I must get 0 as a result, means this 3 I need to remove. So for plus 3, what I should add? These 3 chocolates I have to give to another fellow. So suppose these 3 I have given, means -1, -2, -3. Then my result was 0. So that's why the additive inverse of plus 3 is -3. So the statement is given for additive inverse is, we are adding any two numbers such that if the result is 0, if the sum of two numbers is 0, then those two numbers are said to be additive inverses each other. Here plus 3 and -3 are additive inverses each other. So here just nothing but, if I give -25, so additive inverse of -25 will be +25. Just we have to change that sign, that's all. See, for suppose I have taken -125. So by adding which number I will get the result 0? That is nothing but plus 125. So general statement is given like this. If a plus of minus a is equal to 0 and a belongs to z, then a and minus a are said to be additive inverses for each other. Additive inverses for each other. So these are the points to remember. Once again, I am repeating whatever properties we have studied under addition. So if we are understanding properly for addition, same thing we have to repeat for subtraction, multiplication and division. So how many properties are applicable in case of different operations we will see. See, first one, closure property under addition. So closure property states that if you are adding any two integers, the result also is an integer. That's all. And commutative property. If we are adding any two integers by changing the order, the result will remain the same. There is no change in the result. That means 5 plus 3 is equal to 3 plus 5 is equal to 8. So by changing the order also, the result is not affecting. And coming to the associative property, if we are changing the order by if we are adding three numbers by changing the order, then also result will not change as I shown previous. And now coming to additive identity. By adding 0 to any integer, we will get same number as the result. That's why 0 is called additive identity of integers. And coming to additive inverse. So if the sum of two integers is equal to 0, then those two are said to be additive inverses together. So for suppose plus 5 I have, then what is its additive inverse? That is nothing but minus 5. So suppose I have taken 26, then what is its additive inverse? 26 in the sense plus 26. So its additive inverse is minus 26. So now coming to the different operations over multiplication. Different properties over multiplication. So these are about addition. Now coming to multiplication. So under multiplication, how these properties are satisfied we will see. So first property, closure property. So here I am directly writing because just now I have explained very clearly in case of addition. Now I am directly using the statements with the example I will explain directly. Now observe. So just here instead of addition we have to perform multiplication. Minus 3 into plus 5 is equal to. So minus into plus is minus. 3 5 is 15. Minus 15. So when you are multiplying any two integers, the result also is an integer. That's all. That means it is satisfied for multiplication. Closure property is applicable for integers for multiplication also. Now just observe. Take two negative integers, whether it is possible or not. We will check. Minus into minus will become plus. 3 5 is 15. Plus 15. So plus 15 also is an integer. That's all. Whenever you are multiplying two unlike, you will get negative. When you are multiplying two like integers, you will get a positive integer. That's all. Means whenever in any case, while you are performing multiplication, so closure property was satisfied. That means closure property is applicable for integers over multiplication also. So the general statement is given by if A into B, sorry, A comma B comma C belongs to I, then A into B is equal to C. That means the product of the two numbers is C. C also belongs to integers. Another number, but that also belongs to integers. That's all. So for this example is given by if A value is 5, B value is minus 2, then C we will get 5 2s are 10 minus 10. So here 5 comma minus 2 comma minus 10 all are belongs to integers. And coming to the second property, commutative property. So commutative property, how it is possible? Just observe. Commutative property states that by changing the order of any two integers, if we are performing, here we need to perform multiplication only. So if we are finding the product of two numbers by changing their order, the result will not affect. Whether it is correct or not, we will see. See 3 into minus 2. 3 2s are 6, plus into minus is minus 6. Now coming to minus 2, change the order. So first I am writing minus 2, then I am writing 3. 2 3s are 6 and minus into plus also minus. So even you are changing the order of two integers, the result is not changing. That means commutative property is suitable for integers over multiplication also. So now in the statement I am writing, if a comma b belongs to integers, then a b is equal to ba. That is a into b is equal to b into a, multiplication operation. So that's what we will see with the example. That is nothing but minus 5 into minus 6 is equal to minus 6 into minus 5 is equal to 5 6 is 30. Minus into minus plus. So here plus 30. Minus into minus plus 6 5 is 30. So in both the cases we are getting the answer as plus 30. That means commutative property is suitable for integers over multiplication as well as addition. So now coming to the third one, associative property. So same thing, associative property, instead of two numbers, we need to take the three numbers. Associative property. Associative property. So associative property states that if three numbers belong to integers and we are performing the operation by changing their order, the result will not change. That's it. Then a into b into c is equal to a into b into c. So here group was failed. That's all. So it is possible or not, we will see by the example. Now observe the example. Take a value as 5. So I am taking a is equal to minus 2, b is equal to plus 3, c is equal to plus 5. So like this I have taken. Now apply, check whether that is possible or not. So I am taking according to that a into b into c, that is LHS I am taking now. A into b into c is equal to a value is minus 2 and b value is plus 3, c value is plus 5. So because plus is there, I am not writing plus 5 plus 3. So minus 2 into 3 5 is 15. Because bracket is there, we have to finish this operation first. So 15 2 is 30. And here minus into plus is minus. So minus 30 we got. Now coming to checking for RHS. A into B into C. So we have changed the order. Now group was changed, means we need to perform this operation first. That is minus 2 into 3 into 5, which is equal to 2 3s are 6. But minus into plus minus, so minus 6 into 5. So 6 5s are 30 and minus into plus is minus 30. So just observe, even you are changing the order of three numbers, you are getting the same result. So associative property is saying that one only. So remember all these points. Same, whatever you have performed for addition, that thing only we are performing for multiplication also. And here also all the three properties, whatever we have studied, closure property, commutative, associative, all these three properties are applicable for integers over addition as well as multiplication. Now next one, multiplicative identity. multiplicative identity. So this is the fourth property, multiplicative identity. So additive identity in the sense by adding this number we are getting the same result. Multiplicative in the sense by multiplying what number we will get the same number. See, I am taking 8 into dash is equal to 8. 4 into dash is equal to 4. Minus 4 into dash is equal to minus 4. So already we have performed this. So 8 ones are 8, 4 ones are 4, minus 4 into 1 is minus 4. So in all these cases we are multiplying 1 to get the same number as the result. That's why 1 is called multiplicative identity. And coming to the set of numbers. When coming to the natural numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on we have. 1 is present. If you are multiplying 1 with any number, 1 ones are 1, 1 twos are 2, 1 threes are 3, 1 fours are 4. If you are multiplying 1 with any number, you are getting the same number as the result. That means multiplicative identity is possible for natural numbers here, but additive identity is not always for natural numbers. So multiplicative identity of natural numbers is 1. And coming to the whole numbers, here also we have 1. So by multiplying 1 only, we will get the same number as the result. That's why 1 is multiplicative identity and 0 is additive identity. And coming to the integers, here we have all those numbers. 0 is the so additive identity of integers is 0 and 1 we have multiplicative identity of integers is 1. So that's all. So here statement given in this way. Multiplicative identity. If I have multiplied if a belongs to I integers, then a into 1 is equal to 1 into a is equal to a, always same. Therefore, that is 1 is the multiplicative identity. Multiplicative identity element of integers. Because for any value to get the same number, we are multiplying with 1 only. That's why 1 is called multiplicative identity of integers. For example, 5 into 1 is equal to 5. Minus 3 into 1 is equal to minus 3. That's all. For any negative integers, for any positive integers, multiply with 1. You will get the same number as the result. Now coming to the multiplicative inverse. And its another name was reciprocal also. So reciprocal in the sense you understand it. Reciprocal already we did. We have studied in the previous class. So multiplicative inverse is nothing but reciprocal only. Reciprocal. So multiplicative inverse in the sense, here if I have 5 into, which number I need to get multiply to get the result as 1. So in additive inverse, sum of the two numbers is equal to 0, then those two numbers are called additive inverse. Here, because multiplicative inverse, product of the two numbers is equal to 1. There is 0 because additive identity is 0. 1 because multiplicative identity is 1. So the product of two numbers is equal to 1. Then those two numbers are said to be multiplicative inverses together are reciprocals to each other. So we will check by multiplying which number we will get the result 1 by 5. 5 is nothing but 5 by 5. Take its reciprocal, reverse it, 1 by 5. 5 will get cancelled, 1 will be the result. That means 5 and 1 by 5, both are reciprocals to each other. So the statement is given in this way. If A belongs to I, then A into 1 by A always equal to 1. So A comma 1 by A are said to be reciprocals to each other or multiplicative inverses. So for example, I have 1 by 10 by 7. So now I want to take 7 by 10. Then only I will get the product 1. So 10 by 7 and 7 by 10 both are reciprocals to each other. So these are the different properties what we have studied for addition. That one only we have revised for multiplication also. So check for subtraction and division. So when we are applying all these things on except the closure property is applicable for subtraction also. So we will see that remaining any operations will not applicable for division as well as subtraction. So now coming to one more thing, multiplication by 0 and division by 0. Multiplication and division. And one more property, distributive property. So distributive property. Distributive property states that a number distributed over two of the numbers by using addition, otherwise by using multiplication. So the statement is given in this. A is distributed over B and C using addition. Otherwise, A is distributed over So about this distributive property and with the examples, the remaining properties also we will do some of the exercise problems in the tomorrow class. So whatever I have told you now, all those problems, all those properties once again revise and take your own examples and practice some of the problems. So tomorrow we will meet in the next